Today, we're going to look at a situation that plays out in maternity wards every single day. It's a moment where a tiny, just 1% difference in a number can be the very first clue to a life-threatening condition.
Okay, let's dive right into this case. You've got a newborn, just a few hours old. You measure their oxygen levels, and these are the numbers you get. 94% on the hand, 93% on the leg. The baby looks fine, breathing seems normal. So what's the move? I mean, it seems like such a tiny difference, right? But as we're about to find out, this is an absolutely critical fork in the road.
So, before we can even answer that question, we really need to understand the test itself. This isn't just some random checkup, it's a very specific screening with a hugely important purpose. This test, which happens within the first day of a baby's life, is specifically designed to catch something called duct-dependent congenital heart disease. Now that's a mouthful, but what it really means is there are serious heart defects a baby can be born with that might not show any obvious symptoms right away. So this simple screening, it really acts like an invisible safety net.
All right, now let's get back to those numbers from our case, because they hold the crucial clues. It turns out that where you take the reading, the hand versus the leg, well, that's everything.
So here's the key. You've got to understand the difference between preductal and postductal readings. Preductal, which we measure on the right hand, shows us the oxygenated blood before it passes through a certain little vessel near the heart. And postductal, on the leg, shows the oxygen level after it's made that trip. In our case, the hand is 94% and the leg is 93%.
But you know, these numbers on their own don't mean a whole lot. We need a baseline. We have to know what's considered normal and exactly when a number officially crosses the line and becomes a red flag.
For a newborn, this is our magic number. Anything at or above 94%, that's considered normal. So our preductal reading, the one from the hand, at 94%, it just makes the cut.
But here's the kicker. Our postductal reading, the one from the leg, is 93%. It's just 1% below that normal threshold. And believe it or not, that 1% changes everything.
And this is where the official guidelines come in, and they are crystal clear. They state that an SpO2, that's just the technical term for oxygen saturation, of less than 94% needs an urgent specialist opinion. All of a sudden, this is not a wait-and-see situation. It's a signal that demands immediate expert attention.
So you see, the big takeaway here is that this data isn't just a number on a screen. It's a directive. It points us toward a clear, immediate action so we can figure out what's really going on inside that baby's heart.
And that brings us right back to the answer to our initial question. The very next step is to arrange a 2D echo, which is basically an ultrasound of the heart. You don't admit to a special unit first, you don't recheck in an hour. The absolute priority is getting a direct look at the heart's structure and how it's working.
So let's just walk through the protocol. It's a super clear 1, 2, 3 process. Step 1, you spot a reading below 94%. Step 2, boom, that number immediately triggers a review by a specialist. And step 3, that review leads directly to the 2D echo. It's a simple but really powerful pathway that takes you from suspicion straight to diagnosis.
You might be thinking, okay, but why all the urgency? Why this whole protocol just for a 1% difference? Well, it all comes down to the incredible power of catching things early.
That 2D echo is the gold standard here. It can diagnose pretty much every form of congenital heart disease, giving doctors the critical information they need right when they need it the most. This whole screening process lets us find and fix potentially fatal problems before a baby even starts to show signs of being sick.
So the next time you think about medical tests, remember this one. A painless little probe on a tiny hand and foot, a difference of just 1%, and a clear protocol that turns a simple number into a life-saving action. It's amazing, really, how a simple screen can completely change the future for a newborn, offering them a chance that otherwise might have been lost.